Hello there, I'm Cressida Cowell and I am the author and the illustrator of the How to Train Your Dragon books and also the Wizards of Once series, and I'm also the Waterstones Children's Laureate, and I'm here today to give you a masterclass into creativity tips, how you can be as creative as possible. And my first creativity tip would be to keep a notebook. To keep a notebook, I often go into schools and say, would you like to have a special book? Who would like this? A special book where you can write whatever you want and the teachers cannot mark it. No rules, no marking, just fun. And so many people put up their hands because wouldn't that be wonderful? And in that particular book, keep a notebook where your spelling doesn't matter, your handwriting doesn't matter, you can just write whatever you want and you can make up games and things like that. I'm going to show you some of my notebooks. You see, this is the notebook that I kept, can you see it, a long time ago when I was just starting to write my very first book that I ever had published. And I was at art school, and you can see how it's quite messy, but that doesn't matter. You can see how I'm just sticking down ideas in the notebook and scribbling things. And I'm actually thinking of ideas for my very first book. It was a book called Little Bo Peep's Library Book. And there are pages in this book where you have little books that look like bookshelves, and you can have little books that you can take out like that. And you can see how in that sketchbook I am working that out. But it's quite scribbly. Look, there's lots of scribbles in it as well, and little ideas for characters. But you can see how that page where you can just take out the book ended up in the real picture book looking like this. This is the page where you can take out the book, but I've already worked it out in my sketchbook. And so keeping a sketchbook is an ideas book, is a sort of where you can sort of work out how to do things. And in my sketchbook, I would often be also trying to work out what happens on each page. So here, later on in my sketchbook, I've worked out the story ideas on each page. And I've even got a page where I've written down everything that happens in the whole book, all in little thumbnail sketches. Where have I put that? Can't quite find it. Yes, here. You see, I put every single page in the book all worked out. And then often what I will do is I will make an actual little book of the picture book. You see, this is just torn up bits of paper that I have made look like a book. You can do this at home. Get your mum or your dad or some adults to just tear out some pages for you and cut up some pages for you, and you can make your own book and write bits of the story on each different page. It helps you work out the story. Or in this book, for example, this was going to be a pop-up book called Super Sue, and here I've actually cut out the paper and made my own pop-up. So you see, Super Sue can chew her shoe. You can see how I'm making her chew her shoe in the book. Or Super Sue plays peekaboo. I just cut out those pieces of paper. So you can do this at home. It's really easy. It's fun to make pop-ups and things like that. Quite easy to do. Super Sue can jump and leap. See what popped. Oh, that's jumping up. See whether you can make a pop-up book. Or it doesn't doesn't have to be a pop-up book, but they're quite fun to do. And that's Super Sue singing. Daisy. So it's quite easy to make little books like this. And you can see in this particular ideas book, I've also got the very first idea of, that's the very first picture I ever did of Hiccup. It's just there. And that's the very first picture I ever did of Stoic. Just there. All started in this very scribbly little book. So the things that you do here and now, who knows what may happen. I had a lovely teacher in year 3 who, called Miss Mellows, who let me have a special book where I could write whatever I wanted, and the handwriting didn't matter because I was very messy when I was a little girl, and I sometimes struggled with the spelling and things like that. But this one particular book, she let me write whatever I wanted. And that was a turning round point for me. It made me realise that I really enjoyed writing. I loved writing stories. Before then, I was just worried that my handwriting wasn't good enough, or that my spelling wasn't good enough. But in those books, those special magical ideas books, I learnt how to be a writer.